Welcome back. Welcome back. You man Diamond K in here, of course. The Diamond K Show on Fire Television and Radio on Fire. Thank you for joining me. So much going on. Hope everyone had a great holiday weekend. Of course, I had an extended holiday weekend, but we are back. A new variant. No surprise there. This is something that has been predicted. So this new variant, according to President Biden, is a cause for concern, but not panic. Easy to say that, easy to say that, but in theory, that is. So the president called this new COVID-19 variant, which is Omicron, a cause for concern. Said this yesterday, and he said that he is not considering any widespread lockdown. Of course, people don't like lockdowns, but oftentimes we have found that lockdowns are something that is necessary in this fight against what they call the invisible enemy. Of course, we're talking about COVID-19. So the president urged Americans to get fully vaccinated, including booster shots, and return to face masks indoors in public settings to slow the spread. So it's the same stuff that we've been doing. He wants to bring that back. So you may be living in a place that has never, refrained from indoor mask use, but some folks in the South, Texas, Georgia, Florida, etc., they have long since dismissed those face masks. So this is not going to be something that is welcomed everywhere. So the president, talking yesterday in the White House, said that it was inevitable that this new variant Omicron, would reach America. And I think that is true. I don't think that there is any denying that it's going to happen. Traveling, it's probably here now, right? So he also said that the country has the necessary tool to protect Americans. Biden says that we have the necessary tools. What are those tools? What are those tools? I mean, is he talking about the vaccine? The vaccine that has been in circulation previously? Now, they don't know a lot about this new variant, this Omicron. So how do they know that the vaccines that we've been using, quote unquote, are going to be effective? They don't know that. They said it's going to take a couple weeks before they're able to make that determination, but they still want to encourage folks to get those vaccines, the ones that have already been on the market, and boosters. Okay, so when Omicron arrives, and it will, the president said, America will face this new threat just as we've faced those that have come before it. So this seems like it's going to be more of the same: vaccine, booster shots, and maybe down the line, 6 months, 4 months, 3 months, they're going to want folks to get another booster shot. Now, we have some people that are not trying to get the booster shot, They're not even trying to get the vaccine. And that, using the logic of the president and the White House, is part of the problem. Of course, they're going to blame the variant on the unvaccinated. That's what they do. So the president appealed to the roughly 80 million unvaccinated Americans ages 5 and up to get their shots. And he also appealed to the rest of the country to get booster shots 6 months after their second dose. So every 6 months or so, the White House is going to want you to get those booster shots, and variants are going to come up, other countries or whatever, maybe here, who knows, and then they're going to continue to push for vaccination and booster shots. So those on the right are saying, oh, no, see, this is part of a ploy. They're just trying to, do the election. The midterms are coming. They're trying to get people to get these shots. This is, they think that it's foolishness, right? They think that this is some kind of ploy from those on the left. Now that's kind of far-fetched because these variants are originating in other countries. So that would have to, lead you down a path of thought that some of these midterm elections really have roots in, multiple other countries, and they're going to shut down all their stuff because of some elections here in America. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Biden, of course, joined by Anthony Fauci, Dr. Fauci, the nation's top infectious disease expert. And he's also a COVID-19 advisor to the president. So he said that scientists hope to know in the next week or two how well existing COVID-19 vaccines protect against the variant and how dangerous it is compared to the earlier strands. Evidently, it's not that effective against the variant. And here's why. Why would it wouldn't even be a factor if it was effective against if the vaccines were effective, right? So it's not effective. They are going to try to come up with something that can target this new variant. That's what they're going to do. And the variant poses the latest test to Joe Biden's effort to contain this pandemic. Not an easy task. I don't want to just, haphazardly throw that out there. It's not an easy task. The variant is a cause for concern, not a cause for panic. That's what he said. So last week, Biden moved to restrict travel from South Africa and 7 other countries in Southern Africa, effective yesterday. So in a bid to give scientists time to learn more about this new variant, and as he says, more time for Americans to get vaccinated before it hits the U.S., it's probably already here. So America and other nations are reinstating severe travel and business lockdowns to do what they consider is prevention with the Omicron variant. All right, they're trying to stop the spread from that. Biden says that the U.S. will not follow suit, although, travel has been restricted. I mean, it's real fuzzy, right? Some people say, you're picking on the African nations. And if people are vaccinated and wear their masks, there's no need for lockdowns, he says. All right. I mean, because, travel bans, we got on Trump real heavy about travel bans, right? And, what was done early on versus what is being done now, there should be some difference because we know a little bit more about COVID-19 now than we did before. A little bit more. So, this new variant, like earlier ones, sprang up overseas in areas with low vaccination rates. That is something that scientists are pointing to. The president, not a scientist, but he's pointing to that as well. And this White House thinks that it is in America's self-interest to speed up global vaccinations. President noted that the U.S. has already donated more than 275 million doses of the vaccine. So that is more than the rest of the world combined. So we can beat our chest for that. We're also on pace to deliver more than 1.1 billion doses by fall of 2022. So Biden, of course, encouraging the rest of the world to step up. We can't let up until the world is vaccinated, he says. So that's where the president stands with regards to the new variant. And you're going to be hearing a lot about this. You're going to be hearing a lot about the Omicron variant. You're going to hear folks talking about lockdowns. You're going to hear a lot of things. And, at least some of it, is the real deal. And then you're going to have a variation of happy talk and conspiracy theories, and you're going to have to sift through it and come up with what is real. Come up with what's real. Your man Dom McKay in here, of course, the Dom McKay Show, onfiretelevision.com, radioonfire.com. Let's take a quick break and come back with more of the show after this. Welcome back to the Dom McKay Show. Of course, here on radioonfire.com, the Dom McKay Show is sponsored in part by Tasty Moscato. If you could pour sexy into a glass, this would be it. This smooth, seductive Moscato wine blended with vanilla takes your palate to a whole nother level of taste me. Unlike most, Tasty Moscato can be deliciously paired with a variety of meats, cheeses, veggies, as well as desserts. It is the sweet taste of luxury that you've been craving. It is Tasty Moscato. You can check them out on all social media. That is Tasty Moscato, Tastetee. So here on the show, we deliver the biggest political and trending news stories of the day, interviews and original reporting from across this country, emanating from our studios in Baltimore and Atlanta. Show is fun, show is upbeat, but I also want to expose what is really happening in this country. On this program, I deliver and give you the American story from my perspective. In addition to the top news stories of the day, we check social media for the latest topics that are on your mind. You can join me weekdays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. at the Dom McKay Show on firetelevision.com. So we're talking about this latest Omicron variant. And according to the WHO, the World Health Organization, they say that the overall global risk of Omicron is very high. Very high. So as this COVID-19 pandemic has swept across the globe, more than 5.2 million people have died from the disease worldwide. 5.2 million people. That number is not talked about a lot in this country. What you do hear is the over 776,000 Americans that have died. Americans. 776,000. So anyway, the WHO, as of yesterday, said that this Omicron variant, the global risk is high. So when you hear something like that, even from an organization that has been as flawed as the WHO, you have to take that assessment seriously. So given the mutations that may confer immune, the possibility of transmission, the likelihood of potential further spread of this variant, the world has a major risk on our hands. So depending on these characteristics, there could be future surges of COVID-19. So that's something that we definitely have to take seriously. Now, there are a number of factors. There are a number of things that, really affect severe consequences. So where did this come from? Why are we hearing about this now? The variant, first identified in Southern Africa last week, quickly spread to several other countries around the world. And this has sparked new travel restrictions. It has started to shake financial markets. Yes, we're going to start feeling this. On Friday of last week, the WHO officially named the variant Omicron and designated it as a variant of concern. Variant of concern. Yeah, we're here. We're here. It has not yet been detected in the United States. Of course, Dr. Fauci said that it will inevitably arrive. It will inevitably arrive. So Asian stocks fell further after the new variant has been spreading. It is going to really affect flights, travel. This is going to really start to cause some confusion in marketplace. So the face mask mandates in England have sparked back up. So everyone is nervous about this. So these new measures to combat this new variant took effect today in England. Face coverings again, public transportation and stores. The government said that it would offer all adults a booster dose of the vaccine within 2 months to rev up that immunity. This morning, all travelers returning to the UK must take a PCR test and self-isolate until they receive a negative result. Now, before this, they had been able to take a lateral flow test, and there was no quarantine requirement. Now that out the door. That's out the door. The reintroduction of mandatory face masks brings England closer in line with the rest of the UK, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, which has kept some restrictions in place after England lifted all mandatory measures over the summer. So this is something that has caused Prime Minister Boris Johnson to what he calls bias time in the face of the new variant. He said that while many people felt an understandable sense of exhaustion at the prospect of renewed restrictions, the UK's position is immeasurably better than it was a year ago. So that is how he feels. I understand that. He's somebody that had COVID. The government said today that 22 cases of Omicron variant have been identified across the UK. And of course, that number is going to rise. So we're seeing what other countries are doing. And of course, we have to take that in consideration as this variant inevitably will arrive here in America. So Johnson, the prime minister over there, prime minister said that their government is expanding its booster vaccine program. Now, with a booster dose that will be offered to anyone 18 and up 3 months after the second dose, until now, only people 40 years and over and those deemed clinically vulnerable were eligible for booster shots. Now that's out the window. Britain has already delivered more than 18 million booster shots, and the change in advice makes another 14 million people eligible. So they're going to get those boosters out there and expect America to follow the same the same strategy, of course, because across the world, folks are getting nervous. Folks are getting nervous. So air travel, we're talking about air travel. This is the holidays. Folks are going to be traveling. How's this going to affect things? In Japan, the first case of this new coronavirus variant has been confirmed. So that confirmed today. It is a man in his 30s, and he tested positive at the airport on Sunday and was isolated and is being treated in a hospital right now. This is a man in Japan. So the patient was initially showing no symptoms. Now he has a fever. And the health ministry officials said that he received his second Moderna vaccine in July. So, yes, fully vaccinated and has developed this new variant. A total of 70 other passengers, including the patient's two family members on the same flight, were identified as all having close contact, but they have all tested negative and are self-isolating while being monitored remotely by Japan's health authorities. So that could come up as more cases, or maybe not. If they do not cooperate, their names will be released as a penalty. You don't want that now. They said, look, if you don't do what we say, we're going to put your name out there. And then we're going to let the streets of Japan deal with you. Wow. Okay. The 10 crew members of the plane did not enter Japan and continued their flight on to the next destination. So they look at themselves as being good. I don't know. The crew members were kind of walking up and down the aisles, right? Right? Yeah, you need some pretzels. You want something to drink, right? That's a close contact. No? All right. Anyway, the 40 Tokyo residents identified as having close contacts are being required to quarantine at facilities designated by the capital's government instead of their homes. They want to ensure antivirus measures. No. You're going to quarantine where we say you quarantine. Yes, they Japan don't play, right? It's not like over here when you can kind of do your thing, right? They take you on the what they call the honor system. In Maryland, they are monitoring the Omicron variant. Governor Hogan urged vaccinations. Now, of course, you're going to have people to point to, and I understand why, but you're going to point to this gentleman in Japan who was vaccinated. He's fully vaccinated. He got his shots. So now, so we got to say about that. You want us to get our shots too, and then now what? All right. He has his shots. He has been infected with the new variant, but you're saying we got to push vaccinations. Understandable. Some people don't. That doesn't make sense for some people. If I'm going to get it anyway. Now, the rebuttal, of course, is, but he's going to have, minor symptoms. I mean, he had a fever. Fever ain't minor. Right? So Governor Larry Hogan, who's what you call a lame duck. He's a lame duck governor, meaning that his time's almost up. He's getting ready to move on to bigger and better things, I suppose. He's going to be trying to run for president, no doubt. Anyway, he is urging Marylanders to get vaccinated against this new variant that has been emerging across the globe. Maryland's governor said yesterday morning from the state's COVID-19 response team regarding the new variant that the state of Maryland is closely monitoring it. He further urged Americans to get vaccinated, and for those who are vaccinated to get booster shot. The lame duck governor said this: while there is still much unknown about the Omicron variant and how it will spread, the most important thing Marylanders can do right now is to get vaccinated or get a booster shot. It is the best way to maintain your immunity and protect yourself and your family from severe illness. All Marylanders age 18 and older are eligible for boosters. and we continue to have the supply and the capacity to provide a vaccine to anyone who wants it, the governor said in a statement. To date, Maryland has reported 967,667 booster shots have been administered. So if you are in Maryland and you're trying to find a clinic, you can go to covidvax.maryland.gov or call the state's multi-call center, 855-634-6829. If you were, you need to get the vaccine and you don't know how to do it. But you don't know how to get the vaccine and you want it. I'm surprised because all over Baltimore and the whole state, for that matter, you can do it. If that's what you want to do, you can do it. Yeah. So this variant, I mean, I don't know what to make of this. I know that folks are tired. I know that folks are frustrated. I know that they're like, oh my God, again, are we back with this? But yes, we are back. We are back with this. And the new variant, here for the holidays, right when folks are really going to be traveling, and you just had a lot of folks traveling for Thanksgiving. This vaccine is this variant is very concerning. And it is quickly making its way around the world. No cases registered in the United States just yet, but it's coming. Still so much unknown about this new variant. So much unknown. Researchers are working as quickly as they can to learn more about it. I'm concerned. As should you be. You should be concerned as well. It is good to be prepared. We don't even know what we're preparing for, right? How does it spread? How does it deviate? And I know that some people are wondering, how does this deviate from what the OG COVID-19? Like, what makes this different? So without getting, too much in the weeds, they have some spikes, protein, and kind of stuff they're saying. Some of the characteristics are different. And when they look at this, the scientists, the folks in the know, when they really look at this, the scenarios of the variant are different, right? The virus will cause more symptomatic cases in vaccinated people and unvaccinated people, right? So that is something that that we're facing. Research is already underway to determine just how well it will evade immunity. So here's what happens. I'm going to explain this in layman's terms. They give you a vaccine, and the vaccine is supposed to help boost up the immunity, right? So then you have some folks that say, well, we need natural immunity, right? And if you get the disease or if you're just building up immunity to it, your body just doing its work, right? But then you have a variant comes along, and this kind of eludes all of the previous immunity, right? And it's starting to cause symptomatic cases in people that are vaccinated. So that's what we're dealing with. So the Omicron variant has 3 mutations, and these 3 mutations have scientists worried. One that appears to make it bind more strongly to human cells. Another that might allow it to enter and replicate in cells. And what's concerning is that it is replicating, multiplying in cells faster than the other variants, right? This is like a super variant. And the most concerning part about this variant, the most concerning part is that it might be more resistant to COVID-19 antibodies. So that's going to cause them to have to try to remix the vaccine and have something that is effective. So the Omicron mutations bind more strongly to human cells, enter and replicate in cells faster, and are more resistant to antibodies. Oh, this is a problem. This is a big problem. This is a big problem. But of course, we have Joe Biden and his White House on the job. So we should be good, right? We should be good. I'm nervous. Okay. I'm nervous, and for a variety of reasons. I'm nervous for a variety of reasons. But as far as you can go, you can do. If you're going to take the vaccine, then you should do that. But bare minimum, you need to be wearing your masks indoors. Right? I mean, is it gonna hurt you to do this? Some people say that it is. Some people say that it isn't. Some people don't want you to tell them to do anything. Some people don't want any suggestions about anything health related. Some people, you just can't tell them nothing. Right? Don't be one of those people. Don't be one of those people. This is something that we are going to be dealing with going forward. We're going to have some variation of this COVID-19 pandemic going forward. Some variations, I mean, is it going to be as bad as it is right now? Not necessarily. But we're going to be dealing with this. Health officials in Georgia say that it is just a matter of time before the Omicron variant reaches there. And that is true. We have to accept and prepare for the worst, because this is how it's going. This is the direction that things are going in. So there's no getting around it. COVID-19 cases at Grady Memorial Hospital in Atlanta average about 20 patients a day. Now, there are concerns in that hospital that other cases could spike when this new variant takes hold of Georgia and the rest of the country. We talked about Maryland. Now, Georgia's take, even though there's a Republican governor there as well as in Maryland, their take, his take is a little bit different. Now, we've been talking about the variant. We've been talking about it spreading, but we still don't want people. I'm not trying to get you to hit the panic button. I do want you to be on high alert. There's not time to hit the panic button, even though we have Joe Biden at the head of this fighting in the U.S. And, I could talk about my thoughts on Biden and the job that he's doing another time. But the recent emergence of the Omicron variant, for many, at least for the CDC, further emphasizes the importance of vaccination, boosters, and prevention efforts. If you're not going to take the vaccine, you're not going to do boosters, prevention efforts, bare minimum, please. Let's try to do that. Come on. CDC is expanding COVID-19 booster recommendations. They made this announcement yesterday, talking about the recent emergence of this variant. So that's what you're going to hear from folks like that, folks in the know. That's the direction that they're going to be taking things in, understandably so. That's what, you're going to make it do what it do. And to a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? So to these doctors and these scientists, everything looks like a vaccine. A vaccine, you need a shot. Everything looks like a shot. It's shot worthy. So new variant has been seen in 10 countries, 10 and counting. First identified in South Africa on Friday. on Friday, not that long ago. But happy holidays to everybody as well. Take a quick break. Come back after this. The Dom K Show is an On Fire Television production. You can get the show on demand. The WRF Radio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, YouTube.com/DJ Diamond K, or wherever you get your podcasts. Very excited about the partnership with WRF Radio. Take a moment to download the app in your app store. Leave me a comment. You can scroll your timeline, attend a Zoom meeting on mute, do some online shopping, all while listening to the Diamond K Show. Now, coming up on Saturday, December the 11th, the Black Market is a Black business showcase. It's going down in Baltimore, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. This is the Christmas edition. Black Market, Baltimore. And here's talking a lot about that event. I will be in the place. Of course, On Fire Television is an advertiser-supported audio and video network. Get breaking news, podcasts, TV shows covering topics that are important to our culture. OnFireTelevision.com is where you go to discover, engage, and connect with the latest news and entertainment. You want to support the Diamond K Show? Very easy to do that. This digital network, very easy to do that. Head on over to onfiretelevision.com, grab a t-shirt or some other merch. You can become a sponsor of the Diamond K Show for as low as $50. I'm able to deliver our news and our views on this program because of our listeners, sponsors. We're powered by the people and appreciate your support. So I will be back here later on today. His and Her show going down. Tomorrow, the Pastor Shannon Wright will be our guest, and she's going to talk about taking back the schools in Baltimore. So very excited to have that conversation with her, as the school system in Baltimore is something that needs some, shall I say, restructuring. Of course, you will listen to the Diamond K Show at the Diamond K Show at On Fire Television Network. See you guys tomorrow.